Chapter 22.5 The Third Town Meeting. The Third Town Meeting. After the rampage in the plaza, the three town leaders went up to the tower room for an urgent meeting. They flopped into their chairs and sat without speaking for a few seconds, staring down at the mess below. "What do we do now?" said Wilmer. Ben curled both hands into fists and set them on the table in front of him. "The cave people," he said, "must leave." "Leave?" said Mary. "Leave," said Ben. "They must go away from here." But they haven't been here 6 months yet," said Wilmer. "They must go now. It's better for them anyhow, to leave before winter really sets in." "They won't want to leave," said Wilmer, tugging anxiously at a strand of his hair. I think they understand now there's nowhere for them to go." "They must go," said Ben. "We can never feel safe while they're here. If they refuse to go, we'll force them to go. We have the means to do it." There was a long silence. Ben and Mary glared at each other. Wilmer's eyes darted anxiously back and forth between them. At last Mary set the palms of her hands on the table and took a long breath. "You are speaking of the weapon," she said. "That's right," said Ben. "We have it for situations of dire emergency. I think we have an emergency now." "We've never used it before," said Wilmer. "We don't even know how to work it." "I think it's unwise to use it," said Mary. "We have always tried our best not to repeat the mistakes of our ancestors. Using the weapon would be the first step down the path they took." "We may not actually have to use the weapon," said Ben. "All we have to do is threaten them with it. Just the sight of it will make them do what we say. That is, leave." "What you are proposing," said Mary, "is sending 400 people to their deaths." "Not necessarily," said Ben. "The village of Sparks started with almost nothing. Why shouldn't they?" "It's not true that we started with nothing. The founders of Sparks came here from the old cities in a truck loaded with enough food and supplies to keep them going for months. These people have nothing at all." "We'll send a truck with them," said Ben, "with barrels of water, some food, and some basic supplies." "That would last them about a week," said Mary. "Besides, they have no skills. They haven't had time to learn them." Ben sighed impatiently. "Ugh! Are we supposed to subject our own people to hardship and danger because of a bunch of refugees from a cave? Isn't it our job to protect our own people?" "But if they rebel, what if they rebel against this order?" said Wilmer. "Then what?" "I thought I had made that clear," said Ben. "We use force. It's our only option." He pondered for a moment, frowning into the air above Wilmer's head. "We'll put the weapon on a truck and take it to the hotel. If they put up any resistance, it'll be right there, ready to use." He thumped a fist on the table. "I say we give them a day to prepare. The day after tomorrow they leave Sparks. All of them, for good. Shall we vote on it?" They nodded. "I vote yes," said Ben. "They must leave." "I vote no," said Mary. Wilmer stared down at his hands. He swallowed. He took a shaky breath. He said. I vote yes." So it was decided. They would make the announcement that very night. Calling the people of Ember together after they were through with work and before they went back to the hotel, Ben would be the one to tell them. He would make it clear that the decision was final.